So now what we want to do is add a like a screen that shows up when you win the game, just letting the player know that they've won. But before we do that, there's a couple of small little adjustments that we want to make. And the first one is when we play, you can see the character and the camera are not facing the map, right? And so I don't really want to talk about how to get the camera to face this direction and get the player to face in this direction, because it's a little bit complicated for this early on in our coding adventure. So what we can do instead of doing that is we can come here to our map. Of course, this is only if you have this issue. If you don't have this problem, then don't worry about it. But what we can do here is highlight all of the pieces of our game by doing that, right? Clicking, dragging upward, and making sure they're all highlighted and the spawn point is not highlighted, right? And then we can move it into the right location, right about there. I'm going to go to home and hit rotate. I'm going to rotate on the green axis, so it looks like that. And I'm going to go to move, and I'm going to move it this way, so that the obby is going to be in the direction that the player is facing, right? So the player's facing this way, so I just moved the obby over in that way. Now if we go ahead and test it, you can see here we're ready to go, right? Okay, so that's the first thing, and now I guess we can start to... Oh, here's another thing actually. So the on touch is a little bit delayed, like there's a little bit of a bug in it. If you jump on this platform that has an on touch on it and you keep jumping constantly, then the on touch will never fire off, it will never trigger. You see that? Right? And so that's kind of a little glitch inside of Roblox. And so what we need to do to fix that problem, and of course I could show you that if we stay on it, if we stay on it for a slight bit of time, then the on touch does trigger and the fireball does explode, right? So the way that we can fix that so that's not a glitch that happens in our game is we can say command duplicate, right? We'll go ahead and go to model. So command D was to duplicate that block. We can go to that model. I'm going to put on my collisions, and I'm just going to sit this block on top of the block that I want to detect the collision on, right there. Okay, and then let's see. Okay, so this is the original. This is the duplicate. So I'm going to put _D for duplicate. Right, and now on here, if I click on the duplicated block, I can go to view properties. Now I have my properties window, and okay, we could do that. Maybe I want to put it down here. No, it's not working out. Okay, so anyhow, I have my properties window. Yours is most likely going to be at the bottom of the screen, and I could take my transparency and don't set it to 0, but set it to 1, right? So it's fully transparent. And this block is kind of tall, so I'm also going to go to model, and I'm going to say scale, and I'm going to bring it down to be a little bit smaller, right? Not completely flat, but just a little bit smaller, like maybe 1 inch tall. And then over in my scripts, I'm going to go ahead and move my script and my sound into that duplicated, yeah, there we go. Oh, it actually has the sound and the script already in it. Right, so I can go ahead, go to the original part, delete those items, the script and the sound, and now the touch being detected and the sound going off is going to be based on this duplicated block that's sitting on top of this block here, right? And last thing we need to do is on this duplicated block, I'm going to take off in my properties can collide. Okay, so when the player jumps onto this first block, he'll go right through this transparent block, right through it, because can collide is not selected. And because of that, the touch is going to detect on this transparent block, right, immediately. And then bam, it's going to explode. So let's go ahead and test this out and see if it works. And I'm going to go ahead and jump on there. Whoa, shoot, exploded. Hold on. Let me try this one more time. Whoa, that was a little bit of a delay. So let's go ahead and try that one more time. Okay, so I'm going to jump like a kangaroo, and it still goes off. Okay, so that bug has been fixed. And what you can do in your game is do that same thing with all of the blocks that you have that detect the on touch. So this one, and this one for the explosions, and then this one, and this one for the transparencies. Right? So that's what I would do in my game. And in yours, you would go back and check and see which ones have on touch, and then run through that same process, which is get the block, duplicate it, set its transparency, uncheck its can collide, and then go back to the original block and delete the script and the sound if there is a sound.